Hello, hello. It was taking a sec for my screen to tell me I was live, but I think I'm live. Maybe you could confirm by letting me know in chat if you can see me and hear me. It's always good to get that confirmation from everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I am so fired up to talk about this topic today. It is something I've known for a long time that I needed to chat with you about because I've gotten a lot of feedback from people in my audience about this topic of finding high ticket buyers and where they can find them and where they can discover where they're hiding. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And I really appreciate you making the time to be here with me. Stacy is in chat. Stacy is my right-hand person for everything. So if you have any questions, any feedback you want to provide, you can ask Stacy in chat, and I will also be watching chat for any questions you may have about what we're going to cover today. Thank you again for being here. And, I'm doing this because there's something that I've noticed among people in our age group. I coach people who are in mid-career or mid-life to build profitable online businesses. And what I've noticed about people in our age group is we have a lot of expertise. It's pretty amazing, actually. I am quite sure that there are some people on this live presentation right now who have very advanced degrees. People in my audience tend to have a lot of advanced degrees and they're very smart people. I've had the pleasure of working with many of you and I can vouch for this. But for some reason, and I'm not sure why, and this is what we're going to be talking about today, people like us come online and we're trying to build businesses in this space and we suddenly feel like we can't charge as much for our expertise. Like no one in this space, in this online space, is going to pay us for our true value. And that's why I wanted to do this presentation. Honestly, I kind of blame all the online gurus who've been teaching us for years that, we need to take what we know and package it all up into a $17 product or a $97 product or a $997 product. That's not right. What they're telling you to do is to sell your expertise for cheap. And when you see that enough times, your conclusion might be, no one's going to pay me high ticket prices for my expertise if I sell it in the online space. And I wouldn't blame you for thinking that. And I just want to tell you that if you have kind of fallen for this explanation of things, I want you to know that I am with you. I have fallen for this myself. But one of the reasons that I do what I do now is that I'm kind of on a mission to help people who have this level of expertise create consistent revenue with a high value offer. So I want to explain what that is because I'm going to be saying that a lot in this presentation. I call them high value offers. A lot of people call them high ticket offers, and I think that probably mostly refers to the price. I call them high value offers because the way I teach them, we stock them with so much value that yes, one of the results is you can naturally charge high ticket prices for them, but we construct them in a way that they are delivering true transformation, true value to the people that you work with. And that means you can charge high ticket prices for sure, but it also means that you're actually changing the lives of the people you're working with so that you get amazing testimonials from them, they get amazing results from their work with you, and everything works better. So when I talk about high value or high ticket offers, I'm talking about something that is $2,500, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, so that you really only have to sell a handful of them every month and you can make a really great living. So what I'm going to do now is switch over to my slides and show you the one thing I keep hearing from people that is the reason I wanted to do this presentation today. So let me see if I can get over to my slides. Let's see. Oh, wrong display. I'm showing you my script. Here we go. This is what I keep hearing from people. My people will never pay that much. This is what I have heard from so many people. And my response to that is, are you sure about that? Because what I see that's stopping so many people is that they're just convinced that no one in their audience will ever pay high ticket prices, so they can't create a high ticket offer. And they think they can't, so they don't even try. They just don't even attempt it. And I want to keep this family friendly, so I'm not going to say the word I would like to say, but I'm going to call baloney on that, okay? Because this presentation is going to show you where you will find people who will pay high ticket prices for your expertise online. And they are probably right under your nose, and I'm going to be showing you where to find them. So if you're here because you are interested in earning more from that hard-earned expertise, I would love to know. And if you don't mind just dropping a Y in the chat box to say, yes, this is what I want. I want to earn more from my expertise online. I would love to know you're listening and you're here, and we can kind of warm up the chat box. So just drop, you don't even have to type the whole word yes, just drop a Y. The thing is, at our age and stage of life, we really should be earning great revenue. We've all worked very hard for our achievements, and we deserve to be paid well. And what I'm going to be showing you today is how those high ticket buyers are kind of waiting. They're waiting for you to make them an offer, like the kind of offer that they're looking for right now, the kind that will solve their problems. And we're going to go into that deep. This presentation is going to help two kinds of people. And it's people who are only thinking about whether a high ticket offer could work for their business. You're considering it maybe, but you're not sure. And if that's you, then you are going to get a better understanding of where you'll find the customers if you decide to create this kind of offer. And if you already have a high ticket offer, then this presentation will help you as well, because it will help you to figure out where you'll find those buyers, where you're going to find the people who will purchase the offer that you're going to come, put together for them and put in front of them. So if you're here to find where your high ticket buyers are hiding, I want to welcome you to how to find high ticket clients. That's this presentation, and my name is Pamela Wilson. I'm a 30-year business owner. I always feel funny saying that because I'm not 30 years old. You probably could tell that. But I started my offline business in 1992, which means that as of this year, I'm celebrating 30 years in business for myself. I started my online business in 2010. So at the time of this presentation, it is 12 years old. I am also an author. I wrote 2 books, the master content books. I've actually written 3, but these are the 2 that are in print. And I am a keynote speaker and the former executive vice president of educational content at Copyblogger. And what I do is I coach people in mid-career to build profitable online businesses. So if you're in mid-career and you're growing an online business, you're in the right place, and welcome. Here's something that I have talked about for about 5 years now, and it's this concept that online businesses are built in stages. And to show how this works, I actually created this document called the Online Business Success Roadmap. This sort of spells out the 4 main stages of building an online business. And the reason I created this is that I saw so many people trying to do everything all at once and becoming very overwhelmed. Like I said, I work with a lot of really smart people. And it wasn't a lack of smarts that would get them stuck. It was the fact that they were just trying to do everything all at once, and of course at a really high level, because these are overachievers, right? So I built this document to show people you don't have to do it all at once. Do things in these stages and you won't feel as overwhelmed. Now, if you're interested in this, if you don't have your own copy, you can just reply to any of the emails I send out and I will personally send you a copy of this. It's a really handy document. It's just one page, but it's got a checklist in it and everything's all nicely spelled out. So what I want to tell you, the reason I'm showing you this is that the third stage is called implement, and this is where you create and start really promoting your offer. And it's a really important stage. Building that offer is a crucial part of your online business because guess what? And I know this is super obvious, but if you don't have an offer that generates consistent revenue, you don't actually have a business. I have taught branding and content marketing and all of these other elements of having an online business that are important, but they're sort of like the facade of the business. They're the external part of the business, but the actual business is having an offer that generates revenue consistently. If you don't have that, you don't really have a business. And I have seen so many people get stuck on this part of it, and it's so crucial. So that's why I really focus on it right now. And again, the one thing I want you to remember in this presentation is that your high ticket buyers are out there and they're probably hiding in plain sight. You probably already know them. A really smart person who I admire, I just had a phone call with him this morning actually, and he said something to me this morning about when you're making a sale, especially a high ticket sale. And he said this and I went, oh, I got to bring this to the presentation today. He said, the first sale you need to make is to yourself. And this is really important because when you're going to make a high ticket offer, you have to be 100% convinced yourself that you have something valuable to offer before you turn around and offer it to other people. And what can hold you back from feeling really confident about your offer is what I like to call mindset gremlins. A lot of people talk about mindset, like mindset is the solution to everything, and it's not the solution to everything. You can change your mindset, but that doesn't actually generate revenue for your business. Let's be real. However, mindset is where a lot of it starts. And so I want to tackle that because you really do have to make this first sale to yourself. You have to be thoroughly convinced before you go into this process. So I brought a way to talk about it that I think is kind of fun. So I have a small team, and me and my small team did this exercise earlier this year. It was like a values exercise. And one of the things that came out in this values exercise is that we really value fun. I really value fun. So I'm going to try to make this part fun, okay? So I want to introduce you to the Mindset Gremlins. And there's a bad mindset gremlin that stops us from generating revenue. And then there's a good mindset gremlin, which I'll introduce you to shortly, that really encourages us to go for it, okay? So this is our bad mindset gremlin, and the bad mindset gremlin says, no one will pay me for high ticket prices. The bad mindset gremlin has kind of a whiny voice, so no one will pay me for high ticket prices. And that thought will hold you back from even trying. And the good mindset gremlin has a different way of looking at things. And the good mindset gremlin says some people will pay, and you don't need that many of them when your prices are higher. So when you offer something, and I realize this is Captain Obvious, super obvious, but when you charge more, you don't have to sell as many, right? So that's what I want you to keep in mind. If you find yourself thinking, no one's going to pay me high ticket prices, just remember some people will, And you don't need that many of those people. And the other thing to remember is people who are buying high-ticket solutions value different things. Money is not the deciding factor when they're making a decision about buying. The deciding factors tend to be things like convenience, the results that they will get, and the speed at which they will get those results. They have a different view of purchases. Money is really oftentimes not even on the list of things that they're considering. So if you're worried that no one will pay high ticket prices, tell yourself these things to quiet the mindset gremlin. All right. I have another mindset gremlin that might pop up, which is my topic, the topic that I'm an expert in. It doesn't lend itself to a high value offer. Well, the way to think about this is there is always a way. There's almost always a way to make your expertise turn into a high value offer. And I want you to listen to these examples just in case you don't believe me, okay? I have examples of people who have gone through my Offer Accelerator program, and I have some people who have more traditional businesses like business coaching and consulting and things like that. But I have these 3 people, and I want to tell you about them in case you're someone who's thinking my topic doesn't lend itself, okay? I am currently working with a trapeze artist, like a circus trapeze artist, okay? She is writing a book about creativity, and she is developing corporate workshops around the topic of creativity that she will offer in the corporate space. Shout out to Orit in Israel who's doing this. I'm also working with someone who is a home organizer, and she literally joined my program with a $17 offer. She has come a long way, and she's now having success with a high-ticket training program where she is teaching people how to do luxury home organizing. Shout out to Barbie Joe in Texas. And I also have someone in the program who is get this, a marketing expert for equine assisted therapists. This is people who use horses to do therapy. And she is a marketing expert for this particular very niche industry. And she is currently creating done-for-you marketing packages as her high-ticket offer. Shout out to Margaret in Colorado. So I want to let you know, I love a challenge. So I want you to think about bringing me your impossible niche, and we are going to figure out a high-value offer for you. Don't let that gremlin stop you. Here's one more gremlin, and it is the gremlin that says it's going to be hard to develop a high-value offer. It's going to be really hard. It's going to be a lot of hard work. Well, I want to tell you, it's not much harder to develop a high-ticket offer than it is to develop a lower-ticket offer. It's the same basic steps, but obviously there are some differences. There are some things you need to do differently. But it's not that much more difficult, and it's so worth it because you earn so much more when you have that high-ticket offer developed. And it's, of course, definitely easier when you have a process to follow and you have guidance and you have support. So I'm going to switch back to my camera so that we can see each other for just a moment. Well, you can see me. I wish I could see you, but we're not on Zoom. So what I want to ask is, have you developed a lower ticket offer now? I would love to know in chat. Just drop me a Y and let me know. And by lower ticket, I mean an offer that's between, let's say, $100 and $1,000. I would love to know if you have already developed an offer like that. Let me know. The main thing I want you to remember from this section of the presentation is that until you actually test a high value offer, you have no proof that it won't work. So if you're telling yourself a high value offer won't work for me, that is your mind saying that. That's not data, because you don't actually have data until you test it. So don't let Mindset Gremlins stop you from testing a high value offer, because it is so worth it. So worth it. All right. So I'm going to switch back to slides and we'll take a look at, we're done with our gremlins. Let's move on. Just remember this, your ideal customer is out there and they want your high value offer, your high ticket offer, and they're waiting. So like I said, when you go into the process knowing they're out there, it's so much easier. So here's where we look for those people. And the first place really is with the audience you have already developed. Now, in my Offer Accelerator program, one of the criteria is that you have to already have an audience. It could be on an email list. It could be an audience on a social platform. Maybe you have a podcast, or you have a YouTube channel, or you have a, huge, maybe you have a group in Facebook or something like that, but you've gathered an audience of people somewhere. And that's a great place to start. You may think my audience isn't going to pay that much, and maybe you're basing that information on what you've charged in the past because you haven't developed a high ticket offer yet. Ken is saying he has something that's $197. So you can't say they won't buy a high ticket offer unless you've developed one and tested it with them. So I just want to ask you to do, if you're thinking that, do a reality check and make sure that that's actually true. One of the things that we do in my program is this testing process. It's called the Smart Start method. And we take people through a process where they are able to test their offer with their audience. So the Smart Start method takes 30 days to complete, and you come into the program with an idea for an offer. And at the end of those 30 days, you are selling a test version of that offer to see how people respond to it. So this is why you really have to have an audience when you come into the program, because we hit the ground running. We just get right into it. There's not time for you to build your email list in those first 30 days. I'm going to keep you busy developing an offer that you can put in front of your existing audience. So it is important that you bring that to the program, and then we test, and you'll know within a month whether or not your offer idea has legs, or if we need to think about developing something else. And we stick with you after that. We're continuing to work with you for another 5 months to either develop something different or to make improvements on the offer that you put in front of people and that they loved the first time you offered it. So testing is what will really give you the data to know whether or not a high ticket offer is going to work with your audience. That testing process is crucial. Now, I did a live actually last month, and I know Stacy is here and she is an expert on finding all the links. So maybe Stacy can put a link in chat to the testing process live that I did last month, because that goes into the testing process. Bob is saying, how can I determine what the high offer amount should be for my offer? I have a premium pricing process that I take people through in the program. But basically the way we do it is you start out with a test offer that is it's a lower price, and you're testing at that lower price to see how people respond. And then as you create a more elaborate offer that has more, let's say, bells and whistles, then you start charging more. It's very, as you know, Bob, it's kind of a dependent thing. I can't say, it's, a high value offer is X. It's very dependent on your audience, on what they're used to, what you've offered in the past, what you're bringing to the table. Mostly, it's dependent on the kinds of results that you're going to get them and the value that we can assign to those results. And that value is not necessarily monetary. Sometimes it's outside of monetary value. And I also encourage people to look at the lifetime value of the transformation that you deliver. So you may be helping people with something that makes a big change in their lives right now, and they experience that change for years, maybe for the rest of their lives. There are people who do work. One thing that comes to mind immediately is somebody who does couples counseling. Who knows what they charge for their sessions? But if they're able to save a relationship, the lifetime value of that work continues sometimes for generations in a family, right? So I encourage people to think about the lifetime value of the work you do, and that can help you to sort of add some zeros to the price that you're thinking about. So, all right, let me switch back to my slides and we'll keep going. So start with your audience. Start with your audience, and remember that if you are concerned that they have never paid high ticket prices in the past, it could be that you just haven't given them something high ticket to buy. And the only way to know if it's going to work is to test an offer with them. So let's see, I think the next slide kind of reinforces that. Yes, you won't know for sure if your audience wants a high value offer until you test one. So that's your reminder about that. And the next thing is to think about your current customers. So this is people who have actually bought from you in the past. And oftentimes we think, oh, I'm going to have a high value offer and I have to find a whole new group of people to sell this to. But again, start with your audience. Go to the people who've already paid you for something in the past. You don't have to think about running ads or creating these complex funnels. If you know anything about me, you know that I like to keep things simple. So the way you can find out if there are current customers who might be interested in your offer is to literally have conversations with them. I call this focus group, but it's not really a big focus group with a one-way mirror and a conference room. It's nothing like that. It's more like there are people who bought things from me in the past. Let me see if they'd be willing to have a 15-minute conversation with me. And you get them on Zoom or on the phone, and you tell them what you're thinking about creating. I'm thinking about creating this solution. What do you think? Would that solve your problems right now? What other issues are you having? What do you really need help with? And most people who are current customers are more than willing to talk to you. I mean, oftentimes people are kind of honored that you want their opinion. I feel like this is an untapped resource that not enough people online are recommending. It's like, just, pick up the phone, talk to your people, right? And those customer conversations can lead to incredible ideas that you can then develop into a high ticket offer. This is a rich source of prospects. Your current customers already know your work. They like you, they trust you, they've seen what you can do for them. And it is a great place to tap into when you're developing a high value offer. Plus, when you work with people who already know you and you deliver incredible value to them, then you can harness the power of referrals and testimonials, which is what we're going to talk about next. But let me show you, I made a reminder slide for you, and I'll show you that before we go to the next section. So again, your current customers appreciate the results you deliver, so sell your high value offer to them first. I'm going to take a sip of tea, y'all, so my voice holds out. All right. So the next thing I want to recommend to you is to think about the power of referrals and the power of testimonials. When you are selling high ticket offers, this is super important. These can really help to do a lot of the selling for you. And the way I teach this is most of us offer some kind of product or service, and we have some kind of email sequence that goes out to our customers to sort of onboard them to our service or onboard them to our course, and to help them to sort of get the lay of the land and to take advantage, full advantage of whatever it is they bought from you. So the way I teach gathering referrals and testimonials is to automate it as much as possible, because when you automate it, you know for sure that it's going to happen because you set it up and the automation just runs this, right? So what I recommend is at the end of that customer sequence that you have built, add an email that specifically requests referrals or testimonials and ask them directly. Tell people, I get a lot of my business from referrals. I would love for you to recommend me to someone, and give them a simple form they can fill out to give you a testimonial, and follow up until you get it, because testimonials from real customers who speak in their own customer voice to talk about their experience with your product or service is super important. It's such a great way for people to sort of become advocates for your business and to join your marketing team practically by helping to spread the word about what you do. So make sure you automate this so that it is happening on a regular basis with everyone that you serve in your business. And I have a reminder slide. I'm going to go back to that so you can see that. And the reminder slide is this: testimonials and referrals turn your customers into public advocates. Once you have clearly defined your offer and you've clearly defined your offer's benefits, and then once you've made some sales and your clients have gotten results and you've gathered those testimonials and those clients are helping you to refer people to you, and you're getting like passive referrals through those testimonials that you're putting out there, and you're getting active referrals from people who are sharing you on, for example, Yvonne is here. Yvonne shared this live on her social media on LinkedIn. So thank you for that, Yvonne. And that's amazing. When people are actively referring your business, it is gold. It is so important. So here's what I'm hoping you're thinking now. High ticket buyers are waiting for me. They're waiting for me and I want to help them. Now I'm going to come back on camera. I want to take any questions you may have, but I do want to let you know that what I covered today is a part of my Offer Accelerator program. And this is a program that's designed to help people who are in mid-career, who are online business owners like you, to develop a high value offer that generates $10,000 to $20,000 in revenue every month from that offer. And we start the program by helping you to define exactly what your high ticket buyers need and what they will buy from you. Now, we enroll a new cohort of clients every month. We work with a maximum of 5 people. We have 2 people signed up for next month's cohort now. I have someone who talked to me about it very seriously, who sounded very serious about it yesterday, which means that we have either 2 spots or 3 spots, depending on what this person decides to do. So we have 2 or 3 spots left for next month. And there are 2 ways that you can take the next step. And honestly, whenever you're watching this live, you can take the next step at either of these 2 ways. So don't worry about next month. If you're watching this a year from now, this is how you can take the next step. If you want to talk it over, I recommend that you schedule a complimentary strategy coaching session. This is a session that has a value of $250, and it is with my strategy coach, Colin Yearwood. And you can do that at pamelawilson.com/watch. Many of you are already on that page right now, so you can just scroll down and you should see a calendar right at the bottom. And there's a quick video where I'm introducing you to Colin. That's all on the page. So you can just go to that page, pamelawilson.com/watch, and schedule with Colin there. But if you've listened to this presentation and you've thought, I have an audience and this is something that I want to do, I have to figure out how to generate more revenue. I want consistent revenue. I'm ready to explore a high ticket offer, and I already have that audience, so I'm pretty sure I qualify. If that's you, then you're ready to just go ahead and apply. And that will get you onto the list and kind of put you at the front of the line a little bit faster. And you can do that at theofferaccelerator.com, and there's an application at the bottom of that page. Either way, whether you talk to Colin because you're not sure and you want some guidance, he's great at that. He'll help you figure out what business stage you're in, for example, if you're not sure, and help you figure out what to focus on so you can grow faster and make some recommendations for your next steps. So he's a great resource. But if you're like, what, I want this, I'm ready for this, I have what it takes to join this program, then just go to the Offer Accelerator and apply, and we'll get you right in. We'll get you right in so we can start working next month. I am going to stick around for just a couple of minutes to take questions. So if you're here live and you have a question, this is the time to drop your question in because I can answer it live. And I know, Stacy, you've been chatting back and forth with people. So if you see anything that I should be answering, let me know and I can answer any questions. I so appreciate you being here for this. And I'm hoping those mindset gremlins will not keep you from doing what you feel you need to do. Because a lot of times there's something about the online space that can feel kind of like you've entered into this space where suddenly what you have to offer isn't worth as much. And I'm telling you, nothing could be further from the truth. And I don't want you to believe those people who are telling you that story because it's just not accurate. So I hope that you'll take what we talked about today and consider figuring out a way to reach those high value customers who really want that high value offer that you can develop for them. All right, I don't see any questions, so I'm going to wrap this up. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I would love to work with you, so consider applying to my Offer Accelerator program, and I can't wait to see you in the chat or in the comments below this video. Take care, everybody.